Hi, and welcome to Something to Talk About. I'm Linda McNamee, and for the next hour-ish, we're going to talk about back to school at Fox Hill. Even though we're just going to be talking about Fox Hill, does not mean that the other schools are not going back. Everybody in Burlington gets to go back to school on Monday. And all I could think of is the Staples commercial about the parents skipping down. It's the most wonderful time. Okay, I digress. Thank you for tuning in this evening. You are welcome to email me at talk@bcattv.org. I would like to thank the crew for this evening. Chris Flaherty, one of the staff members here, making sure that everything is set up, everything runs smoothly, and make sure all of us volunteers do what we're supposed to do. So thank you, Chris. Gwyneth McNamee has given up her Wednesday evening. Our normal supplemental crew is currently at band camp, so they are not available. But we have a brand new volunteer named Sri. Sri, sorry I forgot to ask you your last name, but thank you for giving up your evening and come hanging out at BCAT and check out the show. So thank you. And as always, thank you, Paul, for staying home for Daddy Date Night. Hopefully you're enjoying your time with the cats. So now I would like to introduce my wonderful guest for this evening, whom you probably have seen because she's everywhere. Well, maybe not. But Melissa Massardo is the chair of the Fox Hill Building Committee. You are also on the school committee. You are also parent of 2 children in elementary school. And I'm sure you do a whole lot more. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And tonight, I just kind of want to focus on Fox Hill.
Sure.
Because I think, in the past, I gotta put that down. In the past, there was a lot of discussion until the project finally began, and then it just seems to kind of not necessarily fall off people's radar, but it doesn't seem to get as much attention. So, and with school starting in just a few days. So before we begin, I know I already spoiled half your answer, but can you tell me a little bit about your background, where you grew up, how you came to the Burlington area?
Sure.
And then we'll get into how you became involved in this building project.
I grew up in southern New Hampshire, in Derry, New Hampshire.
Okay.
I lived there my whole life. I went to Pinkerton Academy. I think Derry is very similar size to Burlington. I don't think we have the commercial base, but it's a similar, 4 elementary schools. We had 2 middle schools and then 1 high school, so it's a similar size. It's about 40 minutes away from here.
Okay.
I went to Boston College and lived in Somerville for probably about 10 years. And my husband wanted more land, and we wanted to buy a house. So we kind of looked up and down 93. He works in Boston, and I work in Watertown. So we kind of tried to stick around 93, and Burlington was where we landed.
I love it.
In the Fox Hill School District. Okay. So now I have a 2nd grader and a 5th grader. I can't believe,
wow.
6 years in at Fox Hill. So they're both very excited to go back.
Oh boy, next year's middle school. All right, we won't talk about that. So knowing that your kids are current students at Fox Hill, I suspect that you might have become interested in the building project as a parent. But is there anything else going on for why you wanted to get involved in the building project?
So it basically kicked off right when I was first elected. So I think there was just kind of a timing in my favor or against me, whichever way you want to put it. So I took over the spot on the school committee and the building committee, and then we were really just forming at that time. And as a parent, I think it fell to me to be the chair, and I feel lucky. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years. Well, not 6 yet, but 4 years, sorry.
Seems like it's been a while.
I was counting from when Fox Hill got invited, so I joined in 2022.
Okay.
But if you want the timeline, I can go back.
Well, who else is on the committee? Is it just like a subcommittee of the school committee, or?
So, I'm spoiling you ahead a little bit, but The building committee is in partnership with the Massachusetts School Building Authority.
Okay.
So when we are in partnership with the MSBA, the building committee is a little bit proscribed. So there is certain criteria for the building committee, the school committee representation, so all 5 of the school committee members are on there.
Okay.
And certain types of town administration representation. So we have John Denizio, who represents kind of both the town finances and town administration. We have a couple of parents on there.
Okay.
There's additional school administrators. There's a teacher. The Fox Hill principal, Mr. Rosenblatt, is on there. So it's a fairly good-sized committee with, I think, a wide breadth of representation.
Okay. Because I'm also thinking, you just mentioned, 4 to 6 years. If you started as a parent, by the time the project's finished, your kid might be in high school.
Luckily, it's Jen Priest who has 4 kids, so she'll be there for a minute.
There you go. Multiple kids.
Yeah.
Much easier. Love it. So, is it, you mentioned that all the members of the school committee are also on the building committee, so it really wasn't an option to be or not to, I'm quoting Shakespeare now. How'd you manage to become chair? Did you volunteer for the position, or?
I believe Martha Simon nominated me just as a Fox Hill parent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So you're wearing kind of multiple hats in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a website
Yes.
that talks about every single aspect of the building project. So we don't have to go into every detail here because we only have an hour.
Can I plug the website? So it's,
Absolutely.
it's below
Yes.
me. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
FoxHillBuildingProject.com.
So if you have any questions, the committee names are on there. All of the meeting minutes dating back to 2020 should be on there. All of the building committee presentations, the YouTube videos, the BCAT, all of that lives on that project website. Also, we can talk about it in a few minutes too, but
we can talk about
any construction updates are going to be on that website. And if you are looking for the most up-to-date, because I think, as everyone knows, construction projects are a little bit many moving parts.
Yes.
So it will
and they also never always go quite as planned.
So as much as I would like to give you a week by week, this is what we're going to be doing, it doesn't work that way. So we try to give like a week, 2 weeks ahead of what they're going to be doing, but I can't project anything longer than 3 to 4 weeks of what they're going to be doing.
We hope this will happen, but whether or not.
So if you're looking for an up-to-the-minute, what might they be doing this week, there's weekly updates on that website. So that's your go-to resource for anything.
Now, right before we started recording, you had mentioned that there's a special event, special project that's coming up.
I think that's also on the website. It's also, I just saw it on the TV on the, what are we calling that? The town common bulletin board. Yep.
Okay.
So, as Linda mentioned, I think if you left school on the last day of school and you're coming back in on Monday, you're going to be shocked. This project is moving. Phase 0 was in April for anyone who lives on maybe the other side of town.
Okay.
And it is cranked. It is moving fast and furious. So right now we have almost the entire steel structure up for the entire building. So next week we're going to be doing the steel topping off. So every student at Fox Hill from kindergarten to 5th grade, my older son is in 5th, are going to get to sign a steel beam at Fox Hill, and that will be hoisted up onto the top.
The last beam, kind of like the cornerstone, but on the skeleton.
Yes, yes. And so those signatures will live forever inside the new Fox Hill. I'm really excited for that. So that's at Fox Hill.
Are the teachers also going to get to sign?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. I just saw the schedule, like first grade's going at this time, et cetera.
Okay. So is that on the building project website?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And I don't want to misspeak, and I should have double checked. I'm 90% sure it's at 1 o'clock. We did a groundbreaking ceremony in the spring in the pouring rain, so I'm really crossing my fingers for Wednesday. But so there'll be a couple speeches, some folks, and people can watch. But I think the signing happens earlier in the day, so the public is more than welcome at the time. Double check with me, but I'm pretty sure it's 1.
Okay. Well, it's a good reason to go to the website.
Yep.
I love it. Now, you meant, oh, okay, so phase 0 was in April.
Yeah, do you want me to, should I walk through the phases?
Yeah, let's walk through all the different phases.
All right.
I'm not going to hold you to it because,
No, this is good. There's only really, it goes 0 to 2B, so it's not extensive phasing, okay? But so we kicked off in April, so right before April vacation was what they call phase 0 of the project.
Okay.
So what they did was basically put, I think more people might have seen it at the police station, right? The fencing, when we creating the construction site. So they knocked down part of the playground, and they took the parking lot.
Okay.
And then they created their construction site. As part of that, also they gave a temporary playground. They moved because they took some of the old one, and a temporary parking lot.
Okay. So now the temporary playground, like the structures on it, did they move from the old playground?
They didn't move. They're new. They're new.
Okay.
Yeah. And by temporary, I mean probably 3 years. So it's not that temporary.
Okay.
So it's fully footed and all that. It's been inspected by DESI, et cetera. So temporary is probably a 3-year playground, short-term playground. Maybe we phase it that way. So it basically moved everything over. So there's a new parking lot and a playground to the right behind Fox Hill.
But I did drive by this weekend just to kind of get a general idea. And it seems like some of the playground that's still there was part of the existing playground before, or?
Yeah, so Fox Hill had like a split playground.
They had like 2 playgrounds.
Yeah, so they had like an upper and a lower, and then they had hard top. So what they did was they took the lower and the hard top are part of the construction site.
Okay.
So they just they added like 2 small structures and some additional swings.
Okay.
And then additional hard top space for the winter.
There are a bunch of kids playing, and the parents are like glaring at me, going, "What are you doing over here?"
Yeah, no, all the feedback I've heard is very, very positive. So the kids like the new playground.
Yay.
They're all consolidated on one side. There's still plenty of field on that side.
Okay.
So it's worked out.
Okay. So that's phase 0.
So that's phase 0. That was the absolute kickoff. So April 2026 was when, and that's when we did the shovels in the ground.
Okay.
Ceremony.
In the pouring rain.
Yep.
Got it.
So phase 1, which we're currently in, the active construction. So the whole site that you saw behind the fence.
So what was behind the fence and what used to be the parking lot?
All the parking lot, all the fields and part of beyond. So that's phase 1, and that's going to be now until February 2028.
Wow, okay.
So it's just it's building the school, right? So February 2028 is, believe it or not, our move-in date.
Wow.
Yep. So the kids will start school at the beginning of February in the current building. They'll go on vacation. The teachers will pack up, and we have a moving company. Nobody's using their own boxes, et cetera. So we have moving company totes, et cetera. Teachers can pack up kind of their personal effects and any decorations that they want.
All their coffee mugs and candles.
All that, yep. And then that will be moved for them into the new building over school vacation, and then the kids will come back from school vacation into the new building.
Fun. Yep. Now, you were also telling me beforehand that like the desks and the chairs don't necessarily need to be moved because part of the project is getting new furniture.
So this is a whole new school. And
same with like the cafeteria and the kitchen and everything?
So the cafeteria, the kitchen is all new. It's all reimbursable by the state.
Wow.
So we'll have the tables that fit the cafeteria. I know some extensive decisions over cubbies and lockers for different grades, things like that. Tables in the hallway, soft seating, TVs, things like that. So that will all be new, like, administrative furniture, conference room tables, all that stuff will be new in the new building. So I'm sure the classrooms will have things that teachers want to move, bookcases, bean bags, their books, all of that.
Little area runs for circle
the library
time.
will need to get packed up.
Oh my gosh,
but
that's not gonna be fun.
I'll help you, Mrs. Jackson. So all that will be moved in February, and then the kids will be in there. But at that time, so they'll still be using the temporary parking lot. The playground will be all set. They can use the new playground. But the temporary parking lot will stay.
Okay.
And then, so from February through the summer.
Through the end of the year.
Yep.
End of the school year or end of the summer?
February through the end of the summer is when they're going to demolish the school.
Okay.
The summertime is when they will finally redo the parking and reconfigure.
But they got to get rid of the old school first before they can pave.
Correct.
It's, okay.
Pretty much your parking lot's going to be on the old school.
Okay.
And they do need to do some ground improvements, so drainage, that type of stuff. So that'll happen in summer of 28. So then, but back to school for 2028 will be all new road configuration. Everything will be pretty much set to go. The only thing to be done in that fall will be the fields. So they're going to need to plant the grass and things like that.
Okay.
But the project closeout, so everything they will be leaving, you know, the trailers will be packed up, etc., will be ideally November of 2028.
Oh, wow.
So just over 2 years from now.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's one interim large project, which is next summer, so summer of 2027. They're going to install a traffic circle. That's going to reconfigure the roadway between Fox Hill and Westwood. So Fox Hill will be pretty much closed off all of next summer.
So that intersection
can be redone into the traffic
circle. What about like residents that live like really close to there? Will they still be able to get home?
Yes, absolutely. So fortunately there's like 2 streets that kind of make a box around that corner. And there'll be absolutely a couple more meetings, and abutters, I think you asked me this question later, but abutters do get kind of general mailings and things like that. So there'll be a lot more information when that happens.
All right. Because I know that during the planning phase and all the discussions about which plan are we going to do, and there was a lot of concern about traffic and traffic congestion. So that will be taken care of next. No, 2 summers.
Next summer they're going to add the traffic circle. Yep.
So 27?
Yep.
Okay.
But the whole parking lot won't be done until 28.
Okay. So what is going to change as school begins next week?
This year? So the good news for returning families is that almost nothing is going to change for traffic patterns at Fox Hill. So in that April time period was when we really dramatically changed the traffic pattern already at Fox Hill. So I was at Fox Hill on Tuesday. We had the police officer there and a bunch of other facilities folks to re-go over the driving and walking plans and biking. So arrival dismissal for returning students is not changing. We are changing one aspect of the crosswalk on Westwood, but that impacts probably a dozen students.
Okay, but there'll still be a
there's a crossing guard.
There.
Yep.
Okay.
And the vast majority of students come off Fox Hill Road. And so if you are an incoming kindergarten parent and you aren't familiar, this is your time to go to the building website or your parent square. And we sent home a very detailed, I have it here, it looks like this, but there's different colors for bus route, parent group, parent guardian with vehicle, staff, etc., and some drop-off points. So this exists on the building website, exists on the Fox Hill website, and it lives in Parent Square. And that's basically where you drive your car, where you drop off, where you pick up. And we do need folks to be paying attention to this. So even if you are returning, just double check. This introduces 2 lanes of traffic, so kids need to be out on the left-hand side of the car. We need to defer to buses. If buses have a stop sign out, we need to stop. It is certainly not an ideal long-term plan to have cars and buses in the same
So like
roadways.
Where the front of the school is, the cars are going to be on one side and the buses on the other?
So the cars are actually going to go past the school and turn around in that parking lot. And they drop off in the back. But what happens is the buses have to come through there and turn around, and cars are passing the buses. We usually the best practice for any school, and this is implemented in the new school, and I work with Safe Routes for a long time. Best practice is to separate your modes of transportation, right? Cars in one lane, buses in another lane. So in the new school, buses have their own turnaround, their own traffic circle.
Kind of like at Memorial,
Correct. Yep. So it's definitely best practice that you're having folks in different areas, but right now in this short term we're doing what we can. And I think the staff, Mrs. Kelly, our new vice principal, last year worked incredibly hard at teaching parents and teaching staff. There's some stop signs, there's some one-ways. So everyone just pay attention to the traffic signage and the teachers. And slow down. Yep. And I will be the first to admit I went the wrong way on the one way on the very first day, and one of the teachers was like this, and I was just like, you get used to you'll get used to it. So we understand that people just need to learn the pattern. It's fairly straightforward once you know how to do it. But if you are a new kindergarten parent, definitely feel free to take a look.
Attention,
take a look
and everybody
at
will stay safe.
Yes.
Okay, so. Yeah, I know, I'm totally going out of order, but we did talk about the different phases. So far along in this project, have we remained close-ish to the timeline?
Yes, if anything, we're like slightly ahead of timeline.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Don't want to say that. Because there's always unexpected things. Like they just built, or just a couple of years ago, they built a house right next to us, and after they poured the foundation, they ended up taking a chunk of the foundation out because it didn't sit right, and I'm just like, yeah.
So far we're good. I think they are barreling towards enclosing the building, obviously by the winter, so that we can get inside.
Okay.
But that's where we are now. Yep, that frame.
Seems like the inside takes a lot longer to.
Yeah. So we have there's no systems in there, right? So they did a lot of work. If you want to get to specific, is they did a lot of work with the ground improvements, right? So they had to kind of like put additional they don't even want to just put footings. They put additional, you can go on the website and find out the details, but they put additional things in the ground to make it even more solid of a foundation.
It doesn't sink.
Correct.
Like
so like we spent months in feasibility researching the dirt, and they took test samples and they dug down.
Because right behind what used to be the parking lot, where some of the trails are, that's conservation land, isn't it?
Correct. So we're set back, I promise you, from all the conservation, all the vernal pools. But where the footings are, they took all the samples and they determined, okay, we need to add rock, we need to add additional, not sand, but soil, etc. So they did all the ground improvements in that April-May timeframe, and then they put all the foundations in. And you can tell it's kind of in two halves right now. So the one half that's further along needed fewer ground improvements, and the half that's closer to the water needed more of the ground improvements. So that's the one that's a little slower on the steel. But they did a lot of drainage, all of that stuff. So right now it's mostly getting that steel box. The elevator shaft is all built.
There's an elevator?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because the current Fox Hill is only one level, isn't it?
Yes, so this is 2 floors. And that beautiful, I don't know what you call it architecturally, but the front has kind of like an angled steel beam, and that's the library. So it's like a really nice,
cool.
beautiful, like glass media center is what they call it. But it'll be beautiful. It's right on the 2nd floor. So.
I love it.
Yeah, and my youngest was like, the library's on the 2nd floor. He's so excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are working with the MSBA.
Yes.
How does the funding break down? Are they paying for like half of it? Is it a certain percentage? Where's all the other money coming from? When are we going to eventually pay it off?
Sure. So the MSBA is paying for, there's a formula based on the town, but so it's paying, and certain things are reimbursable, but like only to a certain percentage.
Okay.
The best example I can give you is we did opt for a full-size gym, so we can have basketball tournaments and some bleachers on the side. So it's bigger than what the MSBA would like to pay for. So they will pay for their allotment, and then above that we pay. So it's not kind of a straight line formula. But for this project, they're paying about 30%.
Okay.
And it is roughly about a $105 million project. So they're paying about $35 million of the project.
Okay.
So we are on the hook for about $65 million of that project.
Package it. No.
Yeah.
I know it's not.
So in 2024, town meeting voted yes to fund this project.
Okay.
So we will be borrowing money for it. And when you sent me these notes, I made a call to town hall today.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I cannot do a good job of getting into detail on the finances, but we are basically going to borrow the money similar to
like a bank loan or a mortgage.
Correct. And the town will issue bonds to make that happen, and they will not necessarily borrow it all at once, so they'll do a little bit at a time. So your question was, have we seen it in our tax bills yet? No, we have not. We have not really borrowed all the money yet for this. It will slowly, fortunately, I guess it'll be a slow increase. And we've talked before, it's about a $200 increase on your average tax bill, but it'll start as like a $30 increase, $50 increase as we get further down. MSBA reimburses us as we go, so we don't have to outline any of the money up front. Like they've been paying us since we started the feasibility study, so we submit to them, I believe, monthly. But how long before it will pay off? Probably 25, 30 years. Again, it depends on how we do that borrowing. But I was told we're looking at favorable interest rates. So
cool.
And ask your question B there.
Oh. So it'll probably be, the community already seen an impact on paying for school.
The next one, 7B.
7B, are we currently on or under budget?
We are close to $10 million under budget.
Yes. Because I was, as you were talking about the loans and everything, and when we started the project, I had something to do with it. With all the tariffs and, during 2020, right after that, supply chains just blew up. How significantly have we been significantly impacted by materials?
That's the $1 million question, right? So as we started,
although we have an extra.
So as we started this project was when, I think it was Stoneham, when these poor towns were coming back with like $30, $40 million over budget quotes due to some of these supply chain issues. So these cost estimators really kind of had to become much more conservative, and I think we kind of maybe are coming on the downward
so
there. So we've been as part of this project, we've done probably 4 or 5 different cost estimations, and they go to independent 2 each time. So 2 independent cost estimators every time. There's like a 50%, like when we had 50% of the drawings, it goes out, then 90% it goes out, and then it goes out again. So we've had a cost estimate, that was the 105, right? And then ultimately gets bid, and that's where we find out exactly. So the bids came in fairly under some of the estimations, and now the bids are locked. So the steel has already been purchased. But the risk is on the contractor at this point, right? So there's still always a risk that, like you said, somebody punctures a water pipe or something. We find dinosaur bones or something like that. But
construction project, nothing ever goes.
And the contingency still exists even in that budget. So I don't see any.
So there doesn't seem to be a high risk.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Yep, but it remains significantly under budget. So
cool.
Yeah.
Let's stay that way.
And we will just not borrow that money. I think that question came up in town meeting. That's another reason we don't borrow anything up front, right? So we just we're not gonna. It's been budgeted. Town meeting approved that amount, but we won't spend it, and we'll go back into the town.
That works. Have there been any surprises like water main breaks or?
No.
Yet?
Yep.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nature trails. I know that I'm horrible at directions, but where the parking lot used to be and the new school is, I know a couple of Eagle Scouts had done some recent improvements on trails on that side. And then behind the current school, there's like the entrance to the Sawmill Trail. I think is it Sawmill Trail? Yeah, Sawmill Trail.
Yep.
Can people still access those? Should people still be accessing those?
So unfortunately, I think we just met, like I said, with the police on Tuesday and some of the town facilities folks. And unfortunately, I think we're going to need to say that the Fox Hill property needs to remain off limits to the public almost at all times at this point. The construction, I think we sent out a notice, I don't know when this was dated, I think April 10th, that the way that they construct, like the fence and the construction zone hits almost every border, every edge of the property that we possibly can. And we want them to have that construction zone because they park their cars there, they lay down their materials in there, and they're not allowed to do that kind of outside the fence. So the trails are closed. They are not permanently closed. All of the Boy Scout improvements
during the construction.
Exist. Yes. So during the construction, and in fact, when they start doing landscaping, there are plans in there to include school paths to access the trail. So I think there's a mural about the trails in the building. So the designers really did a good job trying to incorporate that because it is a school in the middle, surrounded by nature. So they want to include those trails. They're not permanently closed, but for the safety of everyone, we're asking folks to not access the trails at least until 2028 at some point. And then to go even further, we're going to get some signage, but from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays, we're asking folks to not enter the property at all.
Unless it's school drop-off.
Sure, of course. Yep. Yep. But find another location to walk the dog. It's just it's an active construction site, so we don't want people. There's deliveries, there's trucks moving around, and obviously we have embargoes for arrival and dismissal. So where kids are going in and out of the school, they're not allowed. They're not allowed to be outside their construction zone. We don't want people walking in the playground areas during school, things like that. For now,
plenty of other places to go. Gee, if Burlington only had a dog park. Send sarcasm. But the trails, once the Fox Hill project is complete, the trails will virtually be unharmed.
Correct. Yep, they shouldn't be touched. And in fact, we might spruce up the entrances a little for you.
Oh, fun! Okay, and I think we already talked about the school starting soon. Will the after-school program be impacted at all?
After school, no. The only after-school impact is normally people can pick up from the very front. We're asking people to park for pickup, but again, it should be unchanged from last year.
April.
Yeah, the kids can still use the playgrounds, etc. It should be the same.
Now, because the old parking lot is now gone, and there's just like a temporary thing on where the playground used to be, is there still ample parking and sufficient parking for faculty, staff, visitors, anyone,
Yes.
Because it seemed like it was a pretty big parking lot before. I don't know if it was
So it was a bigger parking lot. So it was about, I believe, 90 folks employed at Fox Hill during the day. So we had 150 spots before. There are 119 now. We added a nice little strip of temporary, so visitor parking in the front, so it's a little bit more easy to access there. And the final count will be 125 in the new building. But they also include something called berm parking. So when there's the fall festival or an event and all the parents are coming, they do it. You've seen it maybe Wilmington High School there, and you just park all along the side of the driveway. So these are much bigger. It's a much wider parking lot than we're probably used to. So there's additional berm parking.
I'm just thinking
yes, ice cream social, all the stuff.
Music, the band concert. And, oh my gosh.
There should be ample parking.
Cool. Now in the new parking lot, you told me some really cool things like electric vehicle parking.
Yes, how many did I say? I got my notes over here.
Yeah, well, you need notes. I mean, how can you remember all of this?
I don't even know.
It's a pretty big project.
7 charging stations, so 14 vehicles in charge.
Yep. So that would be like faculty and staff, or
parents,
cool. Now, was that a suggestion, or is it now like a requirement in new buildings? I don't know if you know or not, because I'm just thinking back to like my brother just put a new garage on his house, and he was required by law to make sure it had a charging port for an electric vehicle. And he's like, but I don't have an electric vehicle.
Like a residential garage?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, I have a relatively new
yeah.
garage, and I do not have I have 2 electric vehicles, but we don't have a charger. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
It might be.
But there's also, so the electric vehicle thing, but the photo that you showed me, photo or drawing or, you know, artist's rendition of, had solar panels too on top of the school.
Yes. So in general, we had a sustainability update on April 28th. So if folks at home are really interested in like a deep dive on the sustainability, please go find that one. It's the school building committee meeting from April 28th. And they'll go into lots of details because this is like real tiny slides. But in general, there's been a huge focus on sustainability in this project. It's going to be LEED Silver, I believe. And we are thinking about net zero. Now, a number of things have to happen for the net zero energy. But the big thing is that the roof is solar ready. So as part of this project, the roof is built ready to take the solar panels. So this project doesn't include like the price of the solar panels or anything like that, but the school department and town meeting of the town can enter into a solar arrangement. This building already has solar panels. I'm pretty sure Memorial and Francis Wyman also have solar panels. So I think that's something ultimately we likely will do.
Okay, so it's not a part of the scope of the current
It's not funded in this project. But we've discussed, and I think we have plenty of time. We will likely arrange for this to open with the solar panels. It's just kind of like something done separately outside of this project.
So how would it be powered without the solar? Would it?
I mean, it's hooked up to the grid. Yeah. And then the other thing is, it's possible we could do solar canopies on the parking lot, and I know the teachers would love that. Yeah.
Everybody would love that.
Yeah. Yep.
That way your car doesn't get snowed on.
Yeah.
It doesn't get
the DPW less thing to plow. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That would be so cool. All right. Ample pay is okay. Now you talked about the playground.
Yes.
Where will the playground eventually be in relationship to where it is now?
On the other side of the old playground, I guess. If you're looking at the building, it's like the top, the right-hand side. So it's kind of like out of sight right now.
In the back corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then all the old fields and some of the existing playground and parking will be the new fields. So it will be up that side on the right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember, I swear I remember you mentioning something about gardening and outdoor space, like as part of, is there going to be like a rooftop deck or something?
Yes, we have a rooftop outdoor classroom. We have
because I was all like, yeah.
So we have 2 kind of outdoor areas. There's one on the ground floor, and then there's a rooftop classroom. So it's like it's almost like an entire classroom space. So in the renderings, we can have some what do you call it, like raised beds up there or in the back. I believe there was a community garden maintained at Fox Hill. So there's plenty of opportunity for that to be incorporated. That will just probably come later down the line. Yeah.
Later. Yep. So it's ready for it, but it's not. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that kind of answers my next question about what happened to the community garden. Sustainability features. Are there any other sustainability features?
So there's a ton.
Like solar panels. Yeah. I know nothing about sustainability. So the one big thing is that when we even were like deciding where to put the building, it's south facing, so that I'm gonna misspeak. South facing, right?
Yeah, it's south-facing, so it's all designed to maximize the energy, right? So the sunshades, there's green features, 36% water savings, so the low flow fixtures.
Oh, okay, cool.
Certain sustainable materials like tile and linoleum. Entryway systems capture dirt, etc. Interior low VOC paint. So there's a ton of, like, I think some people think of, you know, solar as the only sustainability, but there's a ton of different window to wall ratio. So like anything that, you know, keeps the sun out type of thing.
So you don't want it
we're
to
going
be
to
like a
reduce the cooling
greenhouse.
and heating.
Right.
Yes. The HVAC system is all electric. All of these things. The lighting's all high efficiency LEDs. So
cool.
they're definitely, I'm glad I have these notes, but.
Well, there's a lot involved.
Yes.
You know, you don't think it's that major until you actually start.
I know we're meeting a couple of goals, and we should be earning some credits from, I believe, like the energy companies and some literal financial credits for meeting some of these goals too. So I know there's been folks really focused on this. It's just not necessarily all in my mind.
That's quite all right.
But if you want to learn more, I promise it's all on the website.
It's all on the website.
Yeah.
And you haven't memorized all like 6 billion pages on the website.
Not yet.
Now, you also had mentioned before, I think, not to put you on the spot, but it's going to be a brighter environment. It's going to be more like learner friendly and kid friendly. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Sure. So they're square rooms with actual, almost like floor to ceiling windows.
Actual windows.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and the way they would do some of the interior rooms is it's higher ceiling, I think, than you're used to at current Fox Hill.
Okay.
But so you have the door, and then above the door is additional glass, so that light comes through even to your interior hallway spaces.
Kind of like half of a vaulted ceiling type.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think they're really clever with how they're getting natural light, like that media center. Is like completely open and glass, and then the hallway will have windows into the hall, so that light will come through. They are using like colored tile as like a wayfinding mechanism. So like the first floor and the second floor are going to look pretty similar, but they're going to be different colors, so you'll kind of know if I'm a first grader, okay, I'm in the pink or the blue.
Or the blue or the
and
green. I think Memorial kind of has that, don't
Probably. I think it's kind of a more modern way to do schools. But these colors are seasonal, so we did like some bright blues for the winter, and there's like some like oranges for the fall. Again, we picked these things a while ago, but
it's got to be green for the spring.
Yeah, so it's definitely really helps wayfind for the students. It's tile. There's a lot of open stairwells. I had it down here. And your next one, the technology advances.
Yeah.
So it's a rectangular classroom with the wall on one side and then the smart board. I think a lot of the schools now have the smart boards.
Okay.
And then.
Now, did the old or the current Fox Hill have smart boards?
We have smart boards, but I think these are like it's actually built into the wall.
Right.
So similar.
Well, because when Fox Hill was built, you know, they still
some of them barely have full walls. Yeah.
They don't even have real walls.
Yeah. So that's like the main technology. The big other one is that we have a learning stair. You may see them at like a museum or something where it's like a big wide stair. That can be like also like a seating pavilion. So it's a corner, it's off to the side by the gym and the cafeteria, and they've built it that way so like one grade level can use, like the size of it is about like all third graders could go here for a science lesson or something like that. And there is a computer display built into that as well, and some sound, etc. There's definitely a lot of technology, and I think we have some kind of like safety technology with the locking of the doors and things like that. The secure vestibule, right? So now nobody even walks into the school. You walk into the vestibule, and there's like a drive-through window to talk to the secretary, etc. So those are all kind of the new things.
Because I'm just thinking, you know, with computers and projections and smart boards and everything, it's hard to predict what technology you're going to need in 5 years, 10 years, because you don't know what's available.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of conduit in those walls too, so hopefully it's not like Fox Hill where they're taping things down on the ground, right? So they can wire things into the walls.
Now, when you were talking about that sitting area, classroom corner, learning stairs, thank you.
Yeah.
It's new technology, you know. And you did mention that the new school will have a full-size gymnasium.
Yep.
Normal cafeteria.
Yes.
Will it have a separate auditorium, or is it going to have like a cafetorium?
Cafetorium, so similar to current Fox Hill with the cafeteria.
Okay, so there'll still be some kind of a stage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that stage is connected to the music room in the back. It's much more accessible. There's a ramp. It's lower, so it can be like a secondary music classroom if they need it.
And you just mentioned ramps, so I'm guessing that everything is...
Oh, yes. I promise. Much, much more accessible than our
compliant.
current Fox Hill.
Okay.
Yes.
Sustainability we talked about, technological. Any other, what else? Traffic patterns we talked about. Information, communication, distribution.
Sure, that's a good
one. Mostly on Parent Square? Or?
Yeah, so our current Fox Hill families get, I believe, a monthly update in Parent Square.
Okay.
But we've been trying to do regular community updates. Abutters also get direct mailings when everything's impactful. The other big thing, what was I going to say? I think I said this to you before we went on
we could
TV.
repeat it.
Yeah, no, I want to make sure we do. Is I wish we could provide kind of like a detailed week by week. Okay, this is what we're doing this week. This is what we're doing the next week. But it will really only be accurate for the next 2 to 3 weeks, right?
There's so many variables.
Yes, the construction folks are waiting on sub vendors or materials deliveries, and they need to be flexible enough to be able to like work on what they're able to work on. So we're not really able to provide really detailed long-term plans. But so we do provide kind of like a couple of week update. But if you're a neighbor or and you don't have kids in the school, so you're not getting the Parent Square updates, absolutely that website is going to be your best, most accurate updates. They can update that daily, weekly. So that's where you're going to go to get those really up to the minute updates. The other thing that's worth mentioning is that I think you've met them or seen them or they've been at the building committees, but we have a project team. They're called the Owner's Project Manager, the owner being us. So they work for us and they represent us and our town with the construction company. So the construction company has a construction manager obviously on site every day, but we also they also have the project management team has more than one person there every single day. Okay, so if you're a neighbor and there's a road closed and you have an issue or something, there are staff there every single day, and they are walking the property. They're working with Mr. Rosenblatt, who's obviously in the building, the principal, every day. So if Mr. Rosenblatt says, hey, I want to have this outdoor assembly, can we limit, there's daily communication. That clerk from the project team checks in at the office every single day. So there's active communication. I know last year there was concern on MCAS days that they really wanted to be quiet. So that school team has no problem communicating to the project and to the construction teams when there needs to be quiet or when kids might be moving unexpectedly, right? We have the topping off ceremony, so they'll pause.
That is so
They'll
cool.
pause so you can hear me speak. Last time I think there was still the beep beep in the background, you know, somewhere, but they really want to keep everyone safe. So again, if they have embargoes, they're not allowed to have deliveries at certain times. They shouldn't have any of their vendors anywhere near the school. I think there was a question about noise. Believe it or not, I think it's just the way Fox Hill is built, but it's a fortress in there. Like when you walk in, you come from the parking lot, you're like, oh my God, this is so loud. And then you get in there and it's really not so loud. But if a teacher is like, oh my God, we can't work like this, then they have a direct line to be like, hey, we need to cut this out for today. Like,
I'm just thinking like kindergarten, first grade, you got a big construction zone right outside the window. I mean, how are you supposed to teach, you know, this is how you read, kids? And they're like, wow, I want to look at the construction vehicles. I mean, which kid doesn't like?
Yes, and I actually be curious if they like lined up at the fence at recess or whatever. But yes, it is exciting, and I think getting them involved is exciting. Next year also, we're gonna do, there's gonna be a mural. It's gonna be a tile mosaic mural in the new building. Inside, yep. And because it's a big building, there's some like big walls. So this artist is going to come to the art classes this year, I think in the fall time frame, and they'll start cutting the tiles and designing that mosaic. So it's another way the current students are going to leave their mark on the new Fox.
Oh, that's really neat. Like, are the kids going to like design their own or something?
I think they're going to. I think they're going to cut. I think they may be looking for parents to cut the tiles, and it's going to be like the broken, you know, like the broken pieces of tile, like and then they place them. Yeah, I don't know how. This guy's done it. We definitely have examples on the website, but it's probably a huge mural. I don't know. He hasn't designed it yet. But the theme inside is like woodland animal, foxes, etc.
Well, you gotta have a fox.
So it'll be something like that: seasons and foxes and rivers and things like that. Yeah. And last year there's a map in there as well, and the kids voted on what landmarks they wanted on the map, like Canby Lake Park, Fenway Park. Like, I think it's a New England map. So there was a vote at the end of last year. So I think they're really trying to get the kids excited about it, bring the kids in.
They'll be immortalized at their elementary school.
Yeah, their name will be in steel somewhere.
Well, you won't be able to see that part.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you can say these are my tiles, right?
Yeah, you can say these are my tiles, or you know, this is my part of the mural.
Yeah.
So, transition of the students. Will the students or teacher? Well, yeah. Let's think teachers.
Sure.
I mean, this is pretty dramatic / traumatic for teachers all of a sudden having to go into a new space. Will they have the opportunity to see their spaces before the actual move?
I'm hopeful of that. So another one of your questions was like, how have teachers been kind of communicating to this part? So the teachers have been pretty involved since when we considered the feasibility study. So when they were designing the school, our project team has an educational consultant. He comes and does workshops. And the big thing is like adjacencies, right? Like music should be near the stage, and the gym should be near the playground, and they want all the first grades together, and all of those things. So they've had a ton of workshops. I think teachers, they had the tile on display in the school for teachers to comment on. We have a really great couple of teacher representatives on our building committee. So I'm hopeful. I know Mrs. Jackson, the librarian, was like talking about what she wants in the media center, things like that. So I'm hopeful they feel like they've been represented and been able to have input. We also did a couple staff meeting communications just with the teachers. And I went to the one in particular when we were going to blow up the transportation, when the drop-off routes, because the teachers staffed those routes, so we want to really
blow it up.
So we wanted them to be aware of the changes before they kind of went out really broadly. But the biggest concern was that, are you kidding me? We got 1 week to move our classrooms when they're there all summer setting them up. So I'm not sure I can guarantee that they will have time now. The absolute goal would be for sure for them to have some time to slowly move things over there, or just
to get the concept of where is my desk going to go, and you know, because pictures sometimes work, or renditions sometimes work, but actually seeing
hope that people are occupying this building before the day of the move. But I don't want anyone quoting me on that, just in case. But I do think the goal would be, I know one of the project team said it's a good way, parents can come, you can ask for parent volunteers to set things up, because parents want to see the inside of the building. So if you need parents to do your bulletin boards, ask for help from that. So I also would hope that we could do like a public tour, like people do want to see it.
Cool.
So I imagine
that can wait, though, but like the teachers' bulletin boards, well, how big is the bulletin board going to be?
But I also think that even if we can't do that, and it is like a to the wire, it's just going to be so much of a nicer, it's brand new, it's not a foldable accordion wall from 1965, so they're not needing to cover anything up, right? So like I think a start classroom for a few days might be okay. But I'm hopeful that we can move everything over. I know I was like envisioning like the kids come in and they have a magnet with their name on it, and that's how they do their lunch, right? So like that's important stuff that they probably need to get moved over. The kids want to see their artwork, but hopefully everyone has all the time that they need. But also, like, there's beautiful storage built into the walls, so hopefully that rickety bookcase that they've been hanging on to for 20 years doesn't need to come, you know? So.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What are we forgetting to talk about?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything? Okay, one like flashback to.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it last year, but I think my kids did not go to Fox Hill, so I don't know what the normal traditions are.
Okay.
But usually I had heard like all the 5th graders go out and they get like a photo from somebody standing on the roof or a drone or something. Will they still be able to do that during the construction phase? Or the clap out the last day of 5th grade, or any of those traditions?
So I am also the president of the Fox Hill PTO. So
in your copious spare time.
So we have made a huge effort to make sure that we can do all these things for all these kids, because like the 5th graders only 5th grade once, right? And I have an upcoming 5th grader this year who won't be going into the new Fox Hill, but I want him to have the same 5th grade experience that everyone else does. I don't know for a fact that we did the photo, but I don't see why we wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
There's still plenty of field in the back.
Okay.
We did the fall festival. We plan on doing the fall festival. That's, you know, Francis Wyman has the carnival. Fox Hill has our fall festival, so there shouldn't be any real change there. We did the family fun day in June. No change. I am actually really looking forward. I do the book fairs at Fox Hill, and we squeeze it into a hallway. And these poor kids are like this. But someday we'll be able to do the book fair in like the library, and I can put tables out, and we can do it like over a long period of time.
That would be cool.
And like they can browse. So like those are the things I'm looking forward to. We should be able to have I mean, the events are the events. Like I will still do the fall festival, but obviously in much nicer facilities. I can't think of anything really. Like Mr. Rosenblatt and I sat down and we went through and said we're going to make all of these things happen. I know that the seniors still came through Fox Hill to see their teachers and all that. So again, we are still looking for new people to join the PTO, so any of those people that are watching, if there's something you want us to do, come see me.
Just at Fox Hill.
Yeah.
I know a lot of all of the elementary schools.
So I'm excited. I'm ready for it to be done, but it is really cool. It is cool. Come, if you haven't seen it, come by on the weekend and stroll through. But if you haven't seen it all summer and you're dropping your kid off next week, you'll be
surprised.
Like, wow. Yeah, and it's not even done. Like, it's just big. It's long. It's not even, they haven't even got all the way to the gym yet for the steel. So
I noticed like the different.
The other dream that I have for this school is Summer Central, or like it's a huge community asset, right? So we can have a whole nother summer camp there, or like right now, like we had Club Simons there once in the summer, and it was fine. But it's definitely another community space that we can all use. So the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, there's beautiful, nice, big spaces. That library, we can have we do a lot of things that like, you know, parent meetings, et cetera, in the Memorial Library, but we can do those at Fox Hill.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's air conditioned, so they can have summer camp, they can have February vacation camp there. There'll be a lot of more fields, and so like a lot of the fields are all on the other side of town, so there'll be ability to have kind of soccer games at Fox Hill. So I do think
let's dream big.
Yeah, so I think we all need to pack our patience a little bit, and it's hard. I know there's a few things that we won't get to have, and but I think if we all kind of hunker down for this, it's already going by pretty quickly in my opinion. Yeah,
let's be patient.
Anyone with kids in elementary knows it's going by just like that.
Exactly.
So
but speaking like that, we are out of time.
Okay.
So thank you so much. I always love finding out like the scoop for everything going on in town. So thank you for all you do for Burlington and the schools and everything. So thank you. And I also want to thank everyone at home for tuning in. I hope you are looking forward to, I think I could say, improving the educational system within the town. So start with the building and let's go from there. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. See you around town. Good night.